Hey, what's up everybody? Average Sniper here and welcome to the video. Today we are talking about radar in PUBG, but before we get into the nitty-gritty details, don't forget to smack that like button and most importantly, enjoy the video and have an awesome day. So I kind of discovered this by accident, and I'm sure many of you experienced players already know about this, but this was my first time actually giving it a try. So what happened here is I was waiting for a video to render and I was a little bored, so I decided to play a match of PUBG off stream, and I wasn't paying attention where I landed, and I landed somewhere that didn't have any loot at all. So I ran to this shed, I got a gun, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to use the drone so that I can see which buildings have been looted, which buildings haven't, and make sure there's nobody in the compound that I'm going to approach to find more loot, because at this point I didn't have a vest or a helmet. So I'm sure most of you can see where this video is going, in that I am using the drone from a high velocity to see. Did I say velocity? From a high verticality? What am I trying to say? I'm using the drone high in the sky. It is my eye in the sky to see where enemies are. Now, I've spectated several players doing this in the final circle to see where enemies are, and it's a very smart way to play. In fact, this is even more powerful than the radar, the blue chip detector that PUBG took away earlier. Because you can see so much more. It doesn't just detect, within a few meters. You can see everything. So a lot of people are actually starting to play this way now, and this is a very interesting way to play. This guy just did all this looting. All I have is a gun with hardly any ammo. He did all the looting for me. I just sat there and watched him on my drone and ended up taking all his loot. That is almost all the loot from that compound. So I found in my short time doing this that what works best is to keep the drone high up in the sky and don't let the enemies shoot it down or see it, because if they do, that's the end of your drone. So I brought it back down. If I have to run, if I have to run a long distance, I think it's best to bring the drone back down and pick it up. But what I did in the final circles was a little bit different, in that I left the drone in the air. I would run to the safe zone, and then I would fly my drone into the safe zone. One of the things about flying the drone that I find a little unrealistic is that you can hear it. It's like you become the drone and it drowns out all the sound around you. But in reality, if you were actually using a drone, I don't think you would hear it making sounds. I think you would just be seeing the video on your smartphone or your tablet, or however you're controlling the drone. But maybe they did that on purpose to make it so it's not too overpowered. But I had a pretty good experience. This was the only match that I played yesterday, and it was the first time I actually tried to use the drone seriously and didn't just use it to troll people. It's kind of difficult not to troll people with the drone, honestly. Every time I see someone close, I want to fly the drone like right up to them. In fact, there have been several games I've played. I think Call of Duty is the one, and Call of Duty and Battlefield come to mind, where people could put C4 on the drone and fly it up to someone and just explode them. I don't think I'd want to see that in PUBG, but it would be kind of funny just to do once or twice and get a reaction out of an enemy. But yeah, as far as tactical use goes, this drone is basically it's basically a radar system. You just put it up in the air. You can spot players. I think it works really good in any game mode, like solo, duos, or squads. Of course, when you're playing solos, you have to be very careful about your positioning. I've found that you can use it when laying prone, as long as you're on a very flat surface. But it seems like if the surface is curved at all, you actually have to stay in a standing or a crouched position in order to launch the drone or switch to the view of the drone. So you can see here, as the game is coming to the final circles, that there's only 5 alive. And instead of calling my drone in, picking it up, carrying it with me and relaunching it, I'm just trying to keep it in the circle within the allotted distance that I have. And as you can see, I can see everything in the circle. I think the only thing you can't do is do multiple marks on enemies. So I just keep using my ping mark to see the enemies that are closest to me. And without this drone, I would not have known how close these guys were to me. It was just the drone. So this is definitely like a radar system. In fact, it took me a while to even realize that people were using the drone like this. There's so many times in the final circle, I'll be like, there's no way that guy could have known where I am. But now I can't say that because the drone can just show the location of all the players. As long as you're not totally blind, you can spot the players in the final circle really, really easy. So guys, when you're in the final circle, look up in the sky and shoot the drones down, because geez, you're not going to know the difference between someone using actual radar and someone using a drone. Which kind of makes me wonder if one of the reasons they put these devices in the game, like the blue chip detector and the drone and the spotter scope, was basically because they can't do anything about people using the actual like cheater radar. So they were like, well, we'll just make it easier for players to find each other by putting these devices in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. But we're getting close to the end of the match here. I've still got the drone up in the sky. It is a 1v1. I have marked the rock that I saw the guy run to. He was the one that I was just shooting at with my SKS. At this point, I'm not sure if he's still on the rock or if he has moved somewhere else. It's really easy to get fixated on one point and not realize that the enemy has moved. So I decide to fall back to some cover and use my drone to see if this guy is still here. And as you can see, if you look at the yellow mark, you can see some movement there from the enemy. He is certainly still there, and that's all I needed to know. Once you know where the enemy is, just put a ping on them and use that. So it was kind of hard to approach this rock. It's just on the edge of the safe zone. So I decided to fall back a little bit where the enemy couldn't see me relocate and come from a different position. Wow, did I just say that? I think I did. We'll just ignore that one. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, guys right behind this rock. I decided to throw a grenade and just try my luck because I have several of them. I did a boost, but I didn't realize that grenade was going to be so good. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. I already knew this about the drone, but I was actually surprised at how OP it actually was, especially in the final circles. The very beginning of the game, just waiting for that guy to finish looting and then taking him out, it was instrumental. And at the very end of the game, it was also instrumental in finding the last few players and securing that sweet winner chicken dinner. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.